Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Chuck and Lisa Show. I hear music.
I just hear music.
Welcome to Chuck and Lisa's living room. Darcy!
You need to turn down your volume on
What's
your
going on?
computer.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, if I do that, I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, well.
Well, you know, you need to mute the.
Stop.
You need to mute.
I got it.
YouTube.
Patriot Journalist.
Or Patriot Journalist, yeah.
Patriot Journalist. There's too many buttons. I can't do the buttons.
Too many buttons.
Take two. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Chuck and Lisa Show from our living room. How are you all doing tonight?
Oh, hold on. Oh.
Lisa's got music playing
No,
now.
it's gone.
Oh, we're all good.
Chuck, where'd you go?
It's all good. It's all good. Hi, Dershey. How are you, man?
Better than I deserve, but I think you knew that.
That's good. Oh, and by the way, everybody say hello, Lisa.
Hello,
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Oh, no, I'm Miss Lisa, apparently, now.
Are you Miss
Miss
Lisa?
Lisa. Yeah.
Does that mean you're the O word?
What?
Old.
No.
No.
No, because
Never.
my grandma called me that, and apparently, like,
Aw.
all the people that, my Nana, and that's my...
Oh, jeez. Chasing a rabbit hole already, and the show hasn't even started.
She already is. She's in
What?
a rabbit hole.
I'm in a rabbit hole.
She's in a
Anyway,
rabbit hole.
I'm Miss Lisa now.
She's summarized.
Call-
So anyway,
anyway.
Let's start out with where you can find each and one of us.
Each and one of us.
Each and every one of us.
Chuck, why don't you go ahead and talk
So-
about where
But
we
we
can
don't want to
find
find Chuck.
Well, yes, let's start there. How are you doing, Mr. Dershey?
you. Like I said, better than I deserve.
Yeah, you sure about that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Hey, there's a rabbit hole. I like this. All right, I am Chuck Nellis, and you can find at Chuck Nellis on many, many, many sites.
But not Twitter.
But not Twitter. Twitter sucks. You can find me on, the ones I go on the most are Clout Hub and Parler and USA.life, and it's called WG1WGA, but they changed the name to Wigo.
Wigiwa.
Lisa calls it Wigiwa,
Wigiwa.
which I think is a marvelous name,
Well, we
personally.
should call it that. Wigiwa.
Yep. And I'm occasionally on MeWe and what am I forgetting?
Your Facebook.
Somewhere else.
Your Facebook.
Well, I haven't gotten to that one. There's one more that I forgot though.
Cloud Hub.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Cloud Hub.
Oh no, I said Clout
said
Hub.
Clout
I
Hub.
actually said Clout Hub first this time.
You do have a Facebook.
Oh, Gab.
You
I
do
don't
have
go on there anymore.
I thought you aren't.
No, I really don't like them very much.
Yeah.
They don't treat us nicely. And
Right.
that's just mean.
But I thought you had a Facebook political page.
And I do have a Facebook political page. It's chuck.nellis.7. And you can find me here every Wednesday night at 9:30, and you can find me every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock with Mr. Dershey on our own show called The Right Side of Politics.
That's strong.
And that's all I have to say about that.
That's just wrong.
Miss Lisa,
Yes.
I'm doing Mr. Dershey's job. Mr. Dershey, you talk.
Oh, I thought.
Hey, most of the time I don't get a word in edgewise, so you know.
I know.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
really
you
bad
do.
that way.
All right,
We let
so-
you talk all the time.
Lisa, we got a new graphic
Sir.
for you. Let us know all those places where Lisa can be found and what Lisa does.
I know. Where am I supposed to see that?
Go to YouTube
Oh, okay. Hold on.
or
come
on
Either one, YouTube or Patriot Journalists, either one, it'll be there.
right.
Well, yeah.
Very good.
Welcome to the Chuck and Lisa show.
You're not live, it's a problem.
And then
Make sure
Click on the.
that.
make
No,
sure you-
no.
No, where?
Just
what?
go to Patriot Journalist.
I was. Hold on.
Go back there.
I'm all over the place.
This microphone is really. I
I
got
know.
for those of you who don't watch the show, we got a brand new microphone because our big one died, and we got this awesome little one called the Samson. That's actually a better microphone, believe it or not. It's portable as heck. It's as small as a vape, a portable
A
vape.
vape.
It really is.
Wait, where am I supposed to see anything?
Now, hit that button on the right,
What
the
button
red
on
button,
right?
the red YouTube. Oh
This?
yeah, that.
I did.
Click on it.
Didn't
Now go to YouTube.
Well, I did. And I did not see it. Oh,
There
my.
it is.
Okay.
There it is,
alright.
right there.
Oh.
That way you can see. I don't know why it's not inputting to the other one, but it doesn't matter.
Anyway, yeah.
Don't you
All
look
right.
cute?
Oh,
All right,
yeah,
our
I'm
audience is
so
eagerly
cute.
waiting your where you are, Lisa.
Yeah, where are you?
Well,
Tell them
well,
where you
no,
are.
Okay, all right. So,
They aren't necessarily looking at that screen right now.
well, you told me to do it. Okay, so I write for ladiesofspeed.org. I have a Etsy store, Vintage Falma Finds. I have a blog, louise.blog. I'm on CloutHub as Louise. I'm on Twitter as Louise. And I'm on Facebook as myself, but you probably won't find that.
You
because-
can't find her.
Well, no, you can, but...
Getting you to let them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, and so there's that. Did I work? Did that work?
Yep, that'll work.
All right.
And Mr.
That
Dershey,
works.
where can we find you, sir?
Well, as you know, you can always find me behind this microphone every Wednesday night about 9:30 on the Chuck and Lisa show. You can also find me 8 o'clock with you, Chuck, on the right side of politics. But elsewhere, you can find me mostly on CloutHub. I'm there most of the time, almost all day long. I'm also on USA.life, MeWe, WeGo, and Parler. Even though my graphic says Gab, I deleted my Gab account because, frankly, they were insulting
They're rude.
my brother. Man, they were insulting you, and
They're rude,
just
crude,
can't
and
take it.
socially unacceptable.
So I'm not there anymore, and next week I'll have that graphic updated. But on all those places,
Cool.
everywhere, you can find me as @Dersh. I am also not on Twitter. I was knocked off in October of last year and haven't missed it since. So that's where I'll be. That's where I am. And we also need to let our audience know we'd love you to participate tonight. Please give us a call and talk about NASCAR and whatever is on the minds of Chuck and Lisa tonight. If you want to call us, give us a call at 201-439-8092. That's area code 201-439-8092. You have to have a show ID. That show ID is 820-07366. 820-07366. Please give us a call. We'd love to talk to you.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Well done, sir. Better watch out or else we're going to lose you to like Jeopardy or something.
All righty. What's on your mind for the night, Chuck? What are we talking about?
So, well, as usual, I'm going to save a good doozy topic that's bound to get me a little wound up for a second, but let's start with NASCAR. Pocono. What everybody think of Pocono?
So boring.
It's 2.5 miles of highway.
The other thing
It's 2 miles, or is it 2.5?
all I want to know is who stole
It's
turn
huge.
4.
There's no turn 4.
I know who stole it. Somebody had ripped them off and took turn 4 away.
They couldn't afford it. They made it so big they had to make three legs instead. It just would have been too dang expensive.
Actually, I love Pocono, the shape of Pocono. Normally I like the race, but I have to agree with Lisa. This year's race is kind of boring. We only had,
Boring.
two major accidents. You know,
Yeah.
I love cars bouncing off the
Yeah.
walls. But you know, it was okay. It got exciting towards the end there, just a little bit.
Yeah, it didn't really ever get exciting, but
Well, that's unless you have a green white checker finish at Pocono, it's usually 10-second leads and things like that. So this package helped. I will say that it helped. But I mean, one suggestion that somebody made was make it a Roval. And to me, that might be cool.
Well,
Make it a 4-mile road
or
course.
if they're going to do it 2
Yeah, that's
days in a row,
yeah, that's
do
what
a regular and then a Roval, or
Right.
a Roval and then a regular.
That's what they're talking about
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah,
For
so
next
they
year.
should.
Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean,
it could
like
be
a
interesting.
4-mile road course would be neat.
Could be interesting. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
It's
think
better
if they're
than-
going to do it 2 days in a row, they should do 2 different tracks.
I agree, Lisa. I was just going to say it's better than watching the same race 2 days in a row because
Right.
Right.
Pocono can
So,
be
that'll be
exciting, and Pocono can be really boring. And
Right.
Yeah. No, in my life, it's been really boring.
The Long Pond straightaway alone is bigger than half the tracks in NASCAR, I
you
think.
know, well,
It's,
you know,
it's bigger than all the short tracks.
yeah.
It's like a giant drag race.
That's one of the things I really like about Pocono, though, is the long straightaways, and you can get some really interesting things going on. I have to say, I absolutely loved Larson this week on every restart.
Yeah.
I mean, every restart he was going 3
Yeah,
or
he was
4 wide,
flying.
Yeah,
man.
that's true. He has no fear. No
He has
fear.
yeah, absolutely doesn't.
He
That,
really no fear.
that's-
Ever since he went up in the fence that time, no
Yeah.
fear, right?
That's why he crashes half the time, though, because
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's always trying stuff like that.
it's
He
got no
rim
fear.
rides too much.
But he has no fear of the wall either, does he? Man, Larson will just
No,
ride,
he'll run 6 inches from it all the way around, won't he?
and on every track. It's incredible.
Yeah. These dirt track kids. He's one of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they just have no fear of anything. They'll go for it no matter
Yeah.
what. And I mean, death. That's the last thing on their mind. Pretty amazing. Any other notes about Pocono? It really was a boring race. Kyle Busch won.
Was so
Oh boy,
freaking
Kyle Busch
boring.
won again.
Unfortunately,
I mean, you
Kyle
gotta
You know
give
what?
it-
Next year, though, like I say, if they do the 2, if they
Uh.
do like a road race and a track race, that would be cool.
That would
and
be
we
worth
would
seeing.
go.
That would be worth seeing. But if it's the same
But if it's
triangle
like,
2
you
days
know.
in a row, nope.
No, nope.
Too much effort. Because Pocono's not exactly the most accessible area if you've
Right.
never been
Oh,
there.
but it's in the Catskills, right?
They still
We
they
can
still
do the
they
Dirty
sti-
Dancing.
they still have those heart-shaped beds from the
Dirty
1950s. The same ones.
Right?
Did you see that NASCAR thing where they were going and looking at them and they were saying how deteriorated they are now? It's
Yeah.
pretty sad.
Speaking of that,
Oh, well.
before we move
It
on,
was a thing
That
back
is the
then.
Catskills, right? Pocono's the Catskills. Same
yeah,
thing?
Finger Lakes, Catskills.
I'm not positive.
I think so.
Because of the Pocono.
Did you guys get a chance to Chuck? Did you get a chance to look at that list of the best drivers for the numbers 1 through 10 that NASCAR put out today?
Oh right, I
Oh.
saw that. Who was number 1? Rick Mast.
Jamie McMurtry
I
was
can see
number 1.
that.
The one I disagree with the most is
Yeah,
obviously the number 4.
yeah.
They pick someone that I would venture to say honestly 99.9% of NASCAR fans today would have absolutely no idea who he is.
Right.
And
What's his name? White.
Rex White, yeah. No, he was a decent
wasn't-
driver.
No,
He was
Yeah.
a decent driver, but I mean, Kevin Harvick drives the 4
nobody
right
would know
now.
who he was.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you're right.
Kevin Harvick drives the 4 now, and he's a legitimate shot at winning the championship most years. He had an outstanding last 2 years. I don't see how you could possibly put Rex White over top of Kevin Harvick. I just don't see it. Could be me though.
Right. And when he came up, he had the hardest of shoes to fill.
Right.
I mean, I've joked
yeah.
his entire career that when he was in the 29 car, it was the 2.9 because it wasn't quite the 3.
Right. Well, no, that's true.
It was true, but I mean, and it was tough on him, and I'm sure it wasn't easy for him to deal with all that, and I'm sure he got a lot of it. But
Right.
anywho, so this we're going to Michigan next. That's going to be the next race. Lisa will be reporting on it as always.
Well, I may or may not. I'm not sure.
You're not going to live.
Oh, I don't know.
She live posted Pocono.
Live tweeted Pocono.
Oh, live tweeted.
Yeah.
We don't use that dirty word in here. Oh wait,
Well, no, but I did.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I used to live tweet everything.
Well, no, it depends if they ask me to do it or not. Apparently, I did a great job.
Oh, you do. I saw you were right, and you did excellent. Alrighty, so onward and upward from NASCAR. Air conditioners. Thirsty?
Uh-oh. If you're listening, please turn down your radio. This is a public service warning. If you're listening, turn down your radio
Thirsty, get your swear jar ready.
and back away.
Oh, he has something to say to this, huh?
Man. Well, it all started out that we were having air conditioning issues, and it turned out we had a little bit of
also
low
heat issues.
and heating issues. So we went through fixing up this air conditioner and heating system that we bought.
Not even 4 years ago.
Not even
right?
just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 3 years ago. And
And then she rolled off her cat.
Lisa's rolling away. All right. Anyway, so you're making it very hard for me to be pissed.
I know, because I'm so cute.
Something like that. Yes, definitely. Don't twist your wire, dear.
Oh, no,
You've
I
gone
won't.
the wrong direction.
I
Spin
won't.
back to the
No,
right.
look. It won't. Look. See, I'm
Very
good at this.
Very good. Anyway, so I was told what our maintenance man looked at it several times and never really got it going right. So
And first he said we needed a new thermostat, right?
yeah, so we went through 3 thermostats.
And then he said we needed
Am I going to tell the story?
What?
Oh, you tell the story.
No, I was just contributing.
Oh, you add to it. That'll be fun. We always do that. So 3 thermostats, and then he said that we needed a whole new unit because he just couldn't find anything. He just said it was a bad unit. So we're all ready to pull the trigger and have to buy another $2,000 unit. It was about $2,000, Lisa?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lisa comes up with this idea. She goes, "Well, I heard about this guy in town that he's got a pretty good reputation." I said, "Well, sure. If he does $50 to check the system before we give up and just dish out this $2,000."
Second opinion.
Yeah, just a second opinion, like a doctor.
Right. Yeah.
"Hello, doctor, fix my air conditioner."
Right.
So
Exactly.
10 minutes later, he comes to the door and he goes, "Fill your air conditioning. It should be blowing very cold now." And I went, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "What was wrong?"
Yeah.
He goes, "It was 4 pounds over what the system is capable of operating at." 4 pounds is a lot of Freon, kids.
I didn't even know that was a thing that you could
Apparently, you can pack the system, and when you pack the system, it doesn't work.
Right.
Nothing works. The
Right.
whole thing just shuts down. So, my maintenance man, who is supposedly an HVAC specialist,
Right.
didn't do so good. And Chucky was a little cheesed.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the business where we unfortunately have to replace air conditioning units
And we're also in the business where we really have to
pinch a penny.
very.
Oh yeah, we run at a thin margin,
very
to say the
thin
least.
margin.
So now because of this, we're going to use the same fellow who did $50 fix for us, and now we have perfect air conditioning to double check our maintenance man on his work, and we think that's money well invested because I think we did about 10 or 20 of them last year.
Right. He was just like, yeah, they have to be replaced.
So we don't know that they were actually had to be replaced. But
Right.
anyway, we have new warranties on all those units.
Yeah.
So, Dershie, I'm not quite as pissed as I should be sounding right now because if you heard me the other day, I was just like, I'm going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, because, it's...
You made our
That's
show
two
last night
grand's a lot.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, go listen to our show last night if you want to hear the pissed off version of Chuck. I've had a little time to cool off. Literally cool off because this air...
No, I don't want to ever hear the
It's
alternate version of Chuck because...
It's only a it's only a... what was I going to say? It's a little house, and it's a really good system. And it's only been 3 years since we had the system, so there's no way it should have gone bad. So now it's finally operating as it should. So that's all I have to say about that, I guess. Except for, if you don't know how to do something, ask questions.
Yeah.
If you need help, ask for help.
Yeah.
Don't, you know what I mean, Dersh? Or you know what I mean, Lisa?
Oh, I know.
It just, don't tell somebody, no, you're going to have to go buy a $2,000 system
Right. Well,
because I don't know how to fix it.
Right. See, that's my premise is like, no, it's broken, buy another one.
Right. And not everything's disposable,
Right.
I mean, things are fixable. I used to fix all of our refrigerators and stoves for the company when we were only like 30, 35 houses. But once we got beyond that, I couldn't handle it.
Right.
It was too much.
Right.
So we had to hire departments and things like that.
But
So anyway,
yeah.
the moral of the story, folks, if you're listening, if a HVAC company tells you need a new unit and your unit's not that old, get a second opinion. It'll cost you $50. Worst case scenario, you had to pay $50 and buy a new air conditioner. But it's money worth spending because
Not
instead of
HVAC,
heat or whatever.
If somebody tells you need a new unit, get a second opinion.
Right, always.
Yep.
And that also goes for refrigerators and stoves too, because you can get a refrigerator fixed pretty cheaply. You really can versus buying a new one. I know we all like to get new things, but if you're trying to save a buck, do it that way. Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that. That actually ended up being informational versus a piss session that I intended it to be.
That's
I hope you guys weren't too close to the headphone just then.
No, that's very smart.
It is. So that's the moral of the story. What does she have on the screen here? I've got to see this. What are you talking about? Air conditioning repair, a.k.a. if it broke, don't fix it. Ain't that the truth?
It's true.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, so you will get that. Oh.
What? Hey, call us. Somebody, anybody. I see people watching us now. Get on the phone. Call us. 201. What is it? 201-439-8092. And when you get there, put in 82007366 for the show ID, and come talk to us. We do bite, but not over the radio.
No, I don't bite. I don't bite tonight.
No.
I'm tired tonight.
I don't bite tonight.
I'm tired tonight.
I see.
Won't bite tonight.
You had a long day, didn't you?
I've had a long week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. A topic near and dear to everyone's heart, if you have one, I guess. Pets. Our pets. Okay. We love our pets. What did we want to talk about in this topic? Anybody? And then
you shut up, Sadie.
Well, no, Sadie was offering us. She wants to talk about our.
Sadie's chiming in. Go ahead, Sadie. What do you got to say about it?
Her timing could not have been better, could it?
All right. Well,
now she's talking.
I'll let her.
Oh, she'll just start talking if you do, and then she'll wrap you up in your cord.
Well.
Oh, watch out for the cord.
I know. Up, Sadie. Up. No, she did it.
Bye, Sadie.
It was an accident. Sadie just wandered right by and almost. She did miss the cord this time.
Anyway.
Anyway, moving right along.
Anyway.
Our pets. Speaking of, they're all in here now.
Oh,
We've got
and don't. All right.
3 cats
so
and
here's
2
the,
dogs that are all in here.
So here's the one of the things.
Yes.
Since this is kitten season and doggy season.
Yeah.
Don't shop. Adopt. Like seriously.
Yeah, adopt a pet.
Adopt a pet.
There would be plenty of them up for adoption, and not purebreds are much easier to handle. She's taking over my. Lisa's being bossy, Dershie.
Not bossy.
If you're gonna adopt a mixed breed, because they tend to be better mannered. Because when you get some of these overly bred animals, they're just a mess. Your veterinarian bills are usually higher with a purebred and stuff like that. But
don't go there. Just adopt.
Adopt anything.
Adopt, don't shop.
Especially the older dogs. They get overlooked so often, and older cats. They're gonna love you even more because they realize that they've already had an owner or whatever and had a life. And
they're not going to realize that. They're just like,
they always seem to appreciate you more, though.
Yeah, they're not going to realize.
I don't know why. Any thoughts on that, Mr. Dishy?
No, I agree. Renegade and Chief are 2 of our dogs are puggles, and we got them from breeders. Chief was a reject. He's he's a mutant, and
that's just his personality.
That's he actually is has defects, birth defects. So therefore,
does he?
Yeah, therefore he.
Besides his master, you mean?
Shut up, Chop.
Sorry.
But therefore he was he was an off the shelf as is puppy. Spirit, though, we did adopt, and
did you?
She is just one of the sweetest dogs I've ever seen in my entire life. Absolutely adore her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree with you guys. Adopt older dogs too. Just give them a second chance at life.
Absolutely.
Cotton's like, wait, what? Is that me? Look at her. Wait, what? You talking about me? Me?
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree with that, Dershie.
Cute.
Sadie is an exact circumstance of that because both of her owners died, and she's like somewhere between 8 and 10 years.
Yeah, we got lied about that.
And whatever. I don't care about that. But she'll have a good life for the rest of her life.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna love her, and she knows that she's home now.
Right.
And that's even if they're only there for the last year or 2 of their life. I know it's hard on us because we fall in love so passionately with them.
Right.
But
wake up in the morning.
It's better than them dying with a needle because nobody loved them for the last 3 years of their life, or whatever years of their life. And sometimes you get a dog that is 8 years old, and then all of a sudden he lives 10 years longer.
Right.
So I mean,
yeah.
Sadie's
like, wait, I'm listening right here. You talking about me?
We are talking about her. And,
I'm gonna poop on your floor later. But she might.
Well, she has. She is an elder dog, and with elder dogs, and she is a purebred, which is not a good thing. She's a purebred chocolate Cocker Spaniel, so she's got the health issues with the eyes and the ears. And it's just one of those things, but you know what? She's such a sweetheart. She's worth the effort.
Yeah.
She loves us to death.
And
Wag your tail.
And I'm going to poop on your floor later.
You're a hoot. Anything more you got? I mean, because I could talk about pets all day long, because our cats are all adopted. Our dogs are adopted. And
we're all adopted.
We're all mutts.
Yeah. I had 3 cats in my lifetime. In my other lifetime with my former wife, and
another lifetime.
All three of them were adopted and actually rescued. The first cat we got at 2 weeks, and her mother had a parasite, so her milk dried up, and people were looking for people who would want to take care of them. And I literally hand fed her, bottle fed her, for about the first 3 months of her life before she was able to lick out of the bowl. And so we were very close, obviously. And then we adopted our second cat from the shelter, and he was a little bit older, and he was heading for the needle, and I couldn't take it, so I adopted him. I didn't go to the they're looking for adoption, but ended up doing that. And then
that's awesome.
Our third cat we named Lucky because we were sitting at a McDonald's in Georgia, and outside, and I look up, and this little teeny baby kitten is running across the road, and an 18-wheeler is heading down the road at about 50 miles an hour right for it. And amazingly, the cat went between the front tires and the back tires.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
Didn't get squished, so we picked him up, and it's actually a female, and brought her over. I got some milk and fed her, and nobody around seemed to know where she came from, so we took her home and named her Lucky because she was darn lucky to be alive.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's really neat. That's really cool.
All right, dudes. I have to go to bed.
You're leaving?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, Lisa's doing a short show tonight.
You can do the
We'll do the other thing. We didn't get enough time to talk last night.
Well, no, you can do that.
You got to put your headphones on in the other room.
Why don't you guys talk about the Gin Blossom before you go real fast?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know. We got stuff to talk about, honey.
I know.
Like your
stores.
I know. I can tell.
I'm tired.
I'll talk fast.
I'm tired.
Anyway, you talk about the Gin Blossoms. What did you think?
No, that was fun.
It was. It's funny because they were actually the second of three bands.
Well, no, we weren't really sure what, like...
Well, there was that first band. Who were they again?
Driving and Crying.
Driving and Crying, who's supposed to be a good band, but they didn't sound good.
But he's lost his voice.
But the band could rock.
I know. Yeah.
They really did.
So, I've seen Driving and Crying before.
And then, of course, Gin Blossoms.
Gin Blossoms.
And they said, if...
it's
funny, Dershie doesn't know them, and a couple of our friends don't even know who they are. But if you know who Gin Blossoms are, they're really cool. And right after the first song, there was a rain delay and lightning, so they had to stop and get everybody out, away, out of the way for the time being. And then we got back and watched the rest of the show. And if you know the Gin Blossoms, you love them. If you don't know them, you probably don't like them. So, and then the last band was who?
Collective Soul.
Collective Soul, who was apparently the headline band and who most of the people there were there to see. But we knew the one song that
Shine.
That's their one big song, and they opened with that, thankfully. So then we left, and there was absolutely no problem getting out of the parking lot. It was beautiful. So because we were really there for
that was a weird concert.
Yeah, that was weird, and we weren't there for the premiere band. We were there for the second band.
But you know what? We paid nothing because it was like Groupon.
It was a Groupon thing, so it was cheap. So that was it. It was a really good time. But we're sorry that we missed the show with you guys. So we do want to apologize about that.
But you know what? Look Gin Blossoms up because I think you'd like them.
Yep, I did. Yep. I did. I actually bought several of the songs. Like it a lot.
Did you really?
Yeah. See, yeah.
Aren't they excellent?
Yes, very nice.
I was a big fan of the band. When their first album came out, I heard it right away, and I jumped right on it and bought it. Well, it was back in the time of cassette tapes then, I guess.
Yeah.
Or was it CDs?
No, cassettes and CDs.
Yeah, at first it was a cassette, then I got the CD.
Probably both.
Yeah. And then, of course, the second album came out, and everybody jumped on that, too. But then, all of a sudden, the guy killed himself. Which was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was only
and he was the writer, unfortunately. And
but not all the songs, just a couple.
I know. The good ones.
Then they had issues,
yeah. And then he got into drugs and
Well, no, then
That was the
the
end of
record
that.
company removed him from the
Well, yeah,
band.
because he was
so-
wasted all the time.
Yeah, so there's that.
Yep. So anyway, the last topic that we did want to cover is your store. Do you want to talk about your store at all?
No, not really. I mean, I haven't.
Nice promoting there.
Yeah, hey.
We're trying to get you
Yeah.
to self-promote. Nah,
Yeah,
I don't
I
want
have-
to talk about me.
Well, no, I have an Etsy store, and it doesn't have that many things on it right now. So,
But it's got
but it's
stuff.
called Vintage Velma Finds. So
It's gonna have tons of
it's
stuff.
gonna have tons of stuff.
It really is.
Oh, I know.
She's just got to get the camera and an assembly line going on.
Yeah, so it's got a little bit of stuff. It's called Vintage Velma Finds.
And
But
so they can find that on
Etsy.
Etsy. Very good. On Etsy.
So,
So I can see you're fading on me faster than I can.
faster than what?
It won't matter what Dershie and I talk about in 10 minutes because you'll be asleep.
I know. But
I know. Hey Dershie,
Yeah.
Lisa left.
say goodnight.
Right?
Say goodnight, Lisa.
Right?
Good night, Lisa.
Good night, Lisa. Good night, Lisa. And that's what you want, right? Lisa left, so you're right.
There's the name of the
So
show.
you get your extra show.
Well, we'll talk until we don't.
Well, I know.
You
I'm
know?
just tired.
I knew you were tired when we started the show. I didn't know you were going to make it through it.
Yeah.
Love you, Lisa.
Well, love you, Dersh.
Love you, baby.
Love you.
I'll come snuggle on you later.
I know you will.
See ya. Unplugging the Lisa.
Ugh.
Although she can still talk.
I can if I want to.
She can if she wants to.
And if I want to. Alright, guys, I'm done.
Have a good night, babe. I'll see you soon.
Oh.
So, Mr. Dershie.
Hang on. Let me finish. Let me finish
we were
the show.
talking about yesterday, right?
Oh, wait, you're gonna wrap
me,
that up.
Let me close out here. So we're going to wrap this up. You guys, thank you for listening. Please stand by. We're going to transition. Chuck, why don't you text Jerry and see if he's going to join us tonight. Thank you.
All right,
We'll
I'll
see you
text
next
you.
week.
Everybody, thank you. Hey, thank you, guys. Have a great night. We always have fun with you. We hope you enjoy the show.
And we're back. This is the extension, after show of the Chuck and Lisa show. Lisa has left, so we're all right. With Chuck and Dersh tonight. Normally we have Jerry. Hopefully he'll be joining us shortly to discuss some issues of political concern. So, Chuck, what's on your mind tonight?
Oh, a lot of things. The insanity. Let's start with the insanity of the right wing losing its free speech.
Yeah, absolutely.
You hear about the? It's just amazing to me. What's his face? Crowder got kicked off of YouTube. For all intents, he got his monetization ended.
All right, hang on, Chuck. You froze there for a minute.
So
Chuck.
I think that kind of sucks.
You froze there.
I mean, it
for
just
a second.
goes along
Hey,
with
Chuck.
everything else.
Chuck.
Yeah, you hear me?
You
Yeah.
froze. You froze there when you started talking about Crowder. So you might want to repeat.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you? Okay, I don't know what happened. All right.
Hey, yell so loud though.
Yeah, I'll do that. His monetization on YouTube has been cut off. Crowder's has, and for that reason, he's not making any money anymore, and he's being outright censored.
Right. Well, that's Chuck. Okay, folks, stand by. We just lost Chuck, so give us a second, and hopefully we can reconnect with him. Yeah, just hang on. And Chuck is back. Hey, Chuck.
I don't know what happened. I got kicked off.
Yeah, we lost you there for a second.
Apparently Big Brother doesn't want me talking about Crowder. How far did I get this time?
About the same place you were last time, honestly.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They really are trying to kick me off. Okay. Take 3. Crowder was screwed. Crowder's monetization has been cut off by YouTube, and he doesn't have his means of making most of his income now. So basically, YouTube has decided that another conservative is not worthy of making a living.
Correct.
And he's going to have a hard time finding another site to go to. Because,
he's on
nothing with a reach.
He's on Glenn Beck. He's on the Jeez, I can't even think of it now. The Blaze. So
The Blaze.
He has a big audience.
Right, but I mean, he apparently like half of his income was based on his YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
So I just think it's terrible.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's definitely an attack on the right, but I think it. Hey, Chuck, can you turn your camera back on? I think that.
Is it off?
Yeah. Well, when we lost you, it went off.
Oh, right.
I think that.
Yeah, it doesn't automatically grab the camera for some reason. There I am. Hello.
Hey, Chuck.
Am I on the air on TV?
You will be in a
Could
second.
you close the door, babe?
It will be in a second as soon as I get this going. But I think Glenn Beck will, if it comes down to it, he'll definitely take care of.
All right. Right. Yep. Right. That's exactly what they're doing. Right. Right. Well, ironically, they always talk about how the right wants a bubble, to talk in, an echo chamber. But that's effectively what Twitter has become for the left, because they've kicked off all the people on the right.
Well, I don't want a bubble. I mean, we've talked about this several times. I don't want to.
Yep.
It's one of the reasons I don't particularly like Parler, although it's growing quickly and it had a lot of issues today. I don't know if you had problems, but
Oh yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah, it did.
responding very well. But you know,
Yeah,
it's
been on and off.
it's if it turns out to be a place where only the right is, then as I said before, what's the point? Why do I want to
Right.
go there and just talk to people?
Well,
who
it seems to be
really
becoming a right-left country. You know, I mean, everybody wants to be with themselves instead of interacting. And we've got to interact, otherwise we can't fix issues.
Right,
They
but
just become bigger.
That's the reason why I like Cloud Hub, because Jeff is
Yep.
going to do everything he can to make it an area. Now it's going to have red rooms and blue rooms, so if you want to go hide, you can hide. But you're also going to have the option to interact with someone that doesn't actually think the way you do. And
Right.
there's a couple on Cloud Hub. Lisa's there. I wish she'd interact more often, because even though I don't really agree with her very much on politics, I think she should be out there and saying what she thinks, and she should have the right to do that.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that it's important to have interactivity. I really like the idea of the separate. If you want to be on the left, you can be on the left. If you want to be on the right, you can be on the right. If you want to interact, you can go in the middle. And that's kind of what he's doing, and I like that idea. Parler is a lot like Twitter, where you've got most of the interaction between the people that are on the left on there are usually cool. I'm back. You back? We're good. Well, that was fun. We had that happen last night too. We don't know what's going on. We'll blame the people that are guilty. It's Easy Talk's fault.
Yeah, it's Easy Talk. Server keeps dropping off on us. It dropped off on us last night twice, and it just did tonight. It's becoming quite frustrating,
Yeah. Well.
to say the least.
Yeah. Changes. So anyway, that's what we're using right now, and we've told y'all many times that we're learning how to do this, and we're learning the best way that's going to be most effective to get it to you. So we're going to have some growing pains like anybody else does, but we're doing pretty good. We've been doing this how long now? 6 months?
Yeah, I think we started back in September, so a little bit longer than that, about 10 months.
Yeah, a little longer than that.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
You and I have been doing our show for about 6 months now.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
And we started the Chuck and Lee.
Come September. Yeah, so we're going to do a lot more of this as time goes by, and we're going to refine how we do it, where we do it, where we get the maximum number of folks watching and listening, and all that good stuff, because we do have the capability of doing video, just like we're doing now. If you're on there, if you could see us.
Well, we're about to do video again. I've got to get it back up. It'll be up in about 3 seconds.
It's got to work. Got to make it work. And then we crashed. And then we crashed. It's always fun to see the video. Let's see, where were we? We were talking about Steven Crowder and all that. And his being... let me read YouTube's own statement. They were strengthening enforcement of our existing YouTube program policies. Channels that repeatedly brush up against our hate speech policies will be suspended from the YouTube Partner Program, meaning they can't run ads on their channels or use other monetization features like Super Chat. So they're losing income, and it's based on nothing. Who decides what free speech is? Go ahead. Yeah. Right. Yep. I agree. You're a funny dude. You're a trip, man. Oh, right. Absolutely. She's always a fun topic. Let's see. Off the top, there's been so many. Let me just set it for the past week. What has she done? You got anything off the top of your head? Let's see.
Well, I think the latest thing was being a bartender. I thought it was interesting that she, dissed waitresses and servers and stuff at bar, who do bartender work in bars.
Well, she got fired from being a bartender, so she wasn't very good at that either.
Yeah.
The funniest thing I got to say in the last week, her and Ted Cruz team up to float a new lobbying ban. The first thing that came to mind was Bernie and I agree on a lot of things, a lot of the same problems, but not how to fix them. And that's what I see coming up with this too. So, well, Ted's always got the best idea, and she'd be smart to agree with whatever he said, but she won't.
For me, I was personally surprised that she knew what he was talking about. So,
maybe she didn't.
She might not, which might be why she agreed to work with Ted, because there's a strong possibility that she has absolutely no clue what Ted was asking of her. But there is...
It's quite incredible.
Yeah, there is a conservative that's going to run against her, which in that district... it's virtually impossible to win as a conservative, which is why none of them ever run. But AOC announced yesterday that she will not debate him. And, we talked about it. It's clear. It's obvious why she won't debate him, because she absolutely needs somebody to write her script for her.
She's unbelievable.
She is not smart enough to respond in a debate with any type of intellectual honesty or just simply coherent thought. You look at her when she talks on the committees and things, and she's obviously reading every single thing that she says, and then when somebody gets her on topic, she can't respond. She absolutely cannot respond.
Yeah, it's amazing. By the way, I did text Jerry and he never answered back. So, He's probably walking the dogs. I got a good one for you. I even missed this one. Heineken drops deal with minor league baseball team. That because Ocasio named because she named them an enemy of freedom.
Heineken is an enemy of freedom. Heineken,
yes.
Heineken is brewed and is based in one of the most liberal countries and cities in the entire world, Amsterdam.
Unbelievable.
That's
unbelievable.
Hysterical.
She. and also Sunmaid dropped the team as well.
Wow.
She likened.
Well, you know, I can't boycott.
Goodness gracious! She likened the baseball team to Kim Jong Un and Fidel Castro.
The baseball team.
Yes. Well, a whole baseball team.
Why? Because they're all men? Is that her reasoning? I mean, that would be something that idiot would think. Because they're all men, it's obviously, toxic masculinity or something like that. Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
I have no idea. That just blows my mind. Along those lines, did you hear what happened in the minor league team? It's a Double-A team in California. I think it's San Francisco. They on Memorial Day they had a game and they did a doubleheader, and in between they ran some type of salute to the military and whatever. And at the very end, apparently, they were talking about enemies of America, and they flashed the faces of Mao and Hitler and Chavez, and in the middle they put AOC's face in there as one of the enemies of America. Got in a lot of trouble for it. The people at the ballpark, from what I understand, absolutely loved it, but it was
that you're talking about the video, right?
Yeah, it was a video exactly.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. It was supposed to be a moving tribute, and as the voice of Ronald Reagan warned of enemies of freedom, a photo of Ocasio-Cortez with Kim and Castro.
Correct. Yeah, that's what.
But you know what? They're her heroes. What she got to complain about?
Well, she did, and unfortunately, the baseball team came out and apologized, of course, and and even along those lines, it just explains how ignorant AOC is, because the baseball team.
Oh yeah.
The one thing they didn't do is it was only 3 minutes long, and they didn't watch the whole 3-minute video. So someone at the baseball team who's responsible for that probably is going to get fired, but it's not the baseball team.
So meanwhile, they lose all their sponsors.
Right. Because
somebody did that.
Well, it's because she's too stupid to understand what happened. I mean, seriously, I mean, I don't really like calling people stupid, but man, when the shoe fits, it fits. And that woman is just plain stupid. She just plays stupid.
Everything she does, she seems to destroy things right and left.
Yeah.
There's actually 2 people that are going to run against her now. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.